start something different. I know how we normally do the relationship advice, like at the later end of the episode. We're going to start this episode off with getting into it. I thought this one was interesting, and it kind of rolls into the theme. I say this episode is really like, I guess, relationship focused, whether you're starting one or you're currently in one. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm feeling, how I set this up.
Condolences to you if you are in one. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand the struggle.
Oh, man. So, all right. So we're going to get into this. So check it. Oh, man. So this is an issue that we had in the beginning stages of our relationship when people used to ask, how'd you meet each other?
Oh.
So this girl says, the way I met my boyfriend, so the girl's 21, the guy's 20, is a bit cringy. How do I tell people when they ask? So she goes on to say, so I met my boyfriend a year ago. I posted on my city's subreddit that I was lonely. I liked video games and wanted to meet somebody. I got about 50 messages altogether. One guy responded that he liked Fallout New Vegas. I love that game. So we exchanged messages about the game. I gave him my number. We text all night. Our first phone call was over an hour. He told me he was also lonely. I mentioned how I wanted to cuddle badly. He offered to cuddle me. We decided to have a cuddle date. What? We met up the following week. He picked me up from a local cafe and took me to his, I'm assuming place. They just say his. We got into his bed and cuddled for 3 hours.
Nice.
That's how we met. I know it sounds a little cringy, but goddamn. But to me, it wasn't. People have asked me how we met, and I've told the truth. Though I've abbreviated an abbreviated version, and people tend to give me a weird look. I don't want to lie, but there's just is there some way that it's coming across without? Oh, sorry, goddamn. But is there a way to say it without coming across cringy?
I mean, I feel like when she's adding the details, that's when it starts to get a little interesting.
I feel like do people want the details?
I don't know, because honestly, if you just say you met online, the most I usually get, people are like, oh, what site was it on? Or like, was it on this? Yeah. And so I'll tell them the site, but I feel like, and then I just kind of, sometimes, it depends who I'm talking to, but I'll freely like say, oh, and this was our first date, or oh, like me and him ran into each other in Target before we actually went on our first date.
Yeah,
or
but
like,
that's not cringy.
Well, right, like, so I'll give details, but I feel like it's not necessary. I feel like pretty much once you say, we met online, they might ask where, but I feel like then you don't really have to disclose the weird details if you don't want to.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, when we've been asked, how'd you guys meet? And, you know, of course, if you guys don't know, we met online through OkCupid 4 years and change ago. I think that's pretty much where it goes from there. Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking, you don't really have to tell people the details. Who's gonna, like, what are you gonna say? Like,
yeah.
Unless it's like your really close friend, and I'm just like, yo, I met this girl on Reddit, we cuddled. The cuddle thing is a bit suspect.
Well, that was what was interesting to me. I was like, oh, okay. A cuddle date.
With someone that you don't know.
Well, yeah, that's weird.
And, like, you go to their place.
That's weird. I like the cuddling for 3 hours, though. With someone I know. Not like a rando. But
yeah, they have those services. You know that, right?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
But that's I get it. Maybe that helps someone. But, like, I want to cuddle someone I'm, like, intimate with. Like, well, I don't want to just cuddle any old buddy.
I'm going to see my way out of this conversation because I am not that person.
Yeah, according to Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I put up a post like that, like, my body temperature runs hot, mm-hmm. which is true. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys, mm-hmm. that her body temperature is just hot. Like, I go out. We went out the other day. I'm wearing jeans. I'm like, I should have wore shorts. And then it got colder. I'm like, shoot. I'm like, I'll probably be fine. My body runs hot. You know what? Yo, I don't need your freaking, like, hate and, like, your vibes you trying to send to me. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about this, like, I don't know why it's cringy. Just tell people you met online.
I think the cuddle thing is the part that makes it cringy.
I mean, yeah, you tell someone you met online.
If you're telling people that, like, oh, or, like, then we got together and cuddled, and, like, that was, like, the first time you met or whatever, that's a little...
Because if my friend, if she was a girl and she told me this, and I'm like, So you met some guy you didn't know after you talked for over an hour and texted all day, and you had a cuddle date, I guess.
Because I think that's the first thing is when people hear you've met online, they just want to make sure you've done it the safe way.
Yeah, and I think
especially older people.
We've talked about it for how our relationship was, or not first date was.
Yeah.
Like we met at like some place and all that stuff where, of course, people were. That's weird because like they met, like they went into some local shop. I'm assuming they probably ate there or whatever, and then they went to his place.
And then I think it was the second date is when you picked me up, but you met my parents. Was it the second or third?
I think third.
It was one of those, and you. Oh yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. So like it took us till then, and then he had met my parents on top of it, so it was like kind of threatening. So like you're picking her up,
bro.
but like
not really, bro.
We know what you look like now. So
not really, yo, dog. I mean, you could forget. There's a lot of black people that look like me.
Gosh.
I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw some black guy with glasses. I was like, yo, you look just like me. I see why people are like, yo, are you? And I'm like, no, that's not me.
Apparently, people tell me I have like a familiar face. There's so many people that like will be like, you have one of those faces, and I'm like, okay,
cool, bro.
Great.
Congratulations.
But yeah, I think that's the main concern here is just like when you meet online, you still have to be smart about it. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty normalized nowadays.
Okay, so essentially what we're giving to this girl, I would straight up be like, it's normal. Just say you met online. You didn't have to get into the details. Like, if they say, like, because the furthest we have gotten has been, like, what site? And it's really just, like, you could say Reddit. I mean, some people are going to be
I'm
like,
sure
that
some people meet on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Like, who cares?
All types of things.
It doesn't have to be a dating website.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should really just be there, like, because what are they going to say? Like, damn, I wouldn't go into the details. If you're that ashamed of it, just say you met on Reddit, you guys liked video games, and it started from there.
Well,
like,
I think the shame, too, could be stemming from people, people are mean. So, like, I'm sure they could be making her feel that way.
Well, it's not that they're mean. You're just worried about what someone has to think. Because I don't think anyone's going to say it to you, but they're going to think it. Because I'm thinking that as soon as someone tells me, like, yo, we went on a cuddle date for a couple hours of someone I just met.
Let's have a cuddle date. I like that.
Like I told you, I am not that person.
Let's have a cuddle date.
That is not happening.
Cuddles.
We can do it for like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, we'll compromise. We'll do it for like an hour and a half.
I said 10, 15 minutes. We're not doing that.
But it was 3 hours here, so we'll meet in the middle.
For them, not for us. Shoot. So segue